What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the preview of the Liverpool-Paris Saint-Germain game, but I also want to give my opinion on Neymar's prediction. And Neymar gave a very interesting interview saying that Liverpool won't even finish in the top 4 this season in the Premier League. He is grossly underestimating Liverpool and how good they are. He is actually said to the Express in an interview, who will win the Premier League? Wow, that's difficult, he was asked, and he answered, it's difficult, it's very hard, it's very difficult, but Manchester City will win it, second will be Manchester United, third will be Chelsea, and fourth will be Tottenham. So he's saying that Liverpool won't even finish in the top 4. So what do you think about Neymar underestimating Liverpool? And I think that's actually a good thing, even though I got a little bit angry when I heard about this. Guys, if you want to see Fanzone live reactions for this game tonight, smash the like button. Let's get this video to 100 likes before the game starts, and subscribe, turn on the post notification bell if you don't want to miss a future upload. I don't think that after the Champions League draw came out, I don't think Neymar would be that stupid to give added motivation and added fuel to the fire of Liverpool's goals, because I think Jurgen Klopp's team talk is now almost done and dusted. All he needs to do is just print this quote out and just hang it on the wall in the dressing room before the Liverpool-Paris Saint-Germain game tonight, and just show the lads, Neymar thinks you won't even make the top 4. Neymar thinks that you have no chance in the Premier League, and I guess he thinks we have no chance in the Champions League either. So let's prove Neymar wrong. Let's show Neymar and the world that we are an even better team than last year, where we were the top scorers in the Champions League and we went to the Champions League final. And I expect big things from Liverpool in the Champions League, but expect Liverpool to rotate the team. Because I don't think that we can play the same starting 11 week in, week out for 2 games a week. So I expect some rotation, and it will be fascinating to see who Jurgen Klopp goes with. But I think actually Fabinho and Henderson could start today. Fabinho because he knows Paris Saint-Germain very well. He has been playing in the French league against them for quite a few seasons. Henderson because he needs game time to get his sharpness, his fitness back. And maybe we could have one of Naby Keita, you know, Wijnaldum or James Milner in there. But I expect the front three, if Firmino is fit, I expect them to start this game as well. But if Firmino's eye hasn't recovered yet, I expect maybe Daniel Sturridge to lead the line. I would certainly give Sturridge a chance to show what he can do, because Sturridge I think is ready and raring to go. Or we could go with Shaqiri up front. But you might wonder what is my opinion on Neymar. I don't really like him as a player. I think his play acting, his diving takes a lot away from his actually football skills. He just exaggerates contact, and I understand why he does this, because most of the time defenders target him and try to rough him up in the early parts of the game, try to do some hard tackles on him to see if they can maybe injure him or unsettle him. But for him to roll like 15 times after a tackle, however much pain he is in, and to have the face of people torture, of somebody who is tortured basically, I think it does him a lot of disservice. And I think it would, if he would just cut down on the play acting, I think that would be a lot more beneficial for him. Because Neymar wants to just be protected, wants the referees to protect him and to give the defenders yellow cards, because then they can't foul him hard anymore with the yellow card to their name early in the game. But sometimes, you know, he overdoes it, or you could argue many times he overdoes it, and I think that doesn't serve him well, because the referees know that he already has a reputation. You could see all kinds of jokes during and after the World Cup where, for example, there was a lot of kids training in a football training ground. Somebody yelled Neymar and everybody just threw themselves onto the ground and holding their knees or ankles and just screaming in pain, and that was just hilarious. And even Neymar made fun of himself on his Instagram story, which I found it hilarious, that he yelled Neymar and everybody, including himself, was just lying on the putting themselves on the ground and just rolling over like they got shot or something like that. So Jurgen Klopp said said some very interesting things about Paris Saint-Germain and especially about Neymar. And so I want to read his interview here because I think it's fascinating. I don't know exactly what you are talking about when he was asked about Neymar's history of play acting. I saw a few games at the World Cup when it looked like he made a bit more of the situation. That's completely normal reaction because players are really going for him. That's the truth. He has to protect himself. If the opponent gets a yellow card, he is closer to a red card. It is smart. We don't go for him against us. We want to play football, we want to win the ball, we don't try to act on these types of things, we try to avoid passes to him. It's a big job. I don't know if it's possible to avoid his quality, I'm pretty sure that it's not. He is an outstanding player, he was fit at the World Cup, he tried to play for his country without being fit. I don't think he's a person. So Jurgen Klopp said about Neymar that he's an outstanding player, and I quote Jurgen Klopp here, he was not fit at the World Cup, he tried to play for his country without being fit. I don't think he's a person who wants to act, because if you do that you cannot play the football that Neymar plays. He got rested at the weekend, so he will be 100% fresh, he won't be injured, we will see the full package, the football package, and we have to cope with that. And this is another factor that we have to take into account, that Liverpool played a really exhausting game against Tottenham, where they were going at it for 100% for the full game. But on the other hand, Mbappe, you know, didn't play because he was red carded in the previous round, so he didn't play in that Paris Saint-Germain victory against Saint-Etienne, and Neymar was rested. And it's a big luxury for Paris Saint-Germain to have the chance to rest two of their best, or not play two of their best players, and they still won 4-0. That's how easy sometimes it is for Paris Saint-Germain. I think that's a huge disadvantage for them, and I think that's why last season when Paris Saint-Germain came up against quality opposition, they conceded 8 goals in total and they were just found out. And everybody said that they had a big chance to knock Real Madrid out, but in both games against Real Madrid they were hugely underwhelming. Yes, they were missing Neymar for some part of that tie because he got injured, but still I expected Paris Saint-Germain to put up much more of a fight. Yes, they missed quite a lot of big chances against Real Madrid, both home and away, but still the way that they crumbled showed that they have a soft underbelly. And I think the pace that Liverpool has, and also the high level of intensity that Liverpool has, Paris Saint-Germain could potentially get blown away at Anfield. And I'm not really worried about this game, because Paris Saint-Germain like to attack, even though it could happen that Paris Saint-Germain can beat any team. On their day, they have world-class players. Neymar, one of the top 5 players in the world. Mbappe, one of the top 5 best young players in the world. Cavani, one of the best strikers in the world. They have Di Maria, they have Ferrati, Rabiot, who is linked with Liverpool, so I will watch him very carefully in tonight's game. So I think they can hurt Liverpool really badly. But why I'm really looking forward to this game, I think this will be a high-scoring affair, because Paris Saint-Germain don't really sit back and defend. They like to attack, and they like to push their fullbacks up very high, and the fullbacks like to bomb forward and help the attack. And I think Liverpool, and especially Salah and Mane, or whoever plays on the wing, maybe Shaqiri, will have space behind the fullbacks bombing forward. So it will be vital to press them and really, you know, pressure them into losing the ball in their own half, because then Liverpool could really hurt them. And I'm really just looking forward to this game and what could develop. And I think the tactical battle in midfield will be very hard and very crucial to who wins this game, and we don't know what kind of midfield Liverpool will have, but I think Paris Saint-Germain will have their strongest players out, because you know, they could rest some players on the weekend. What will be very interesting is who Klopp selects to play in midfield, because you know, Liverpool have to rotate sometimes. But I think we have good players on the bench. We have Henderson, we have Fabinho, we have other players on the bench. Lalan and Oaks will miss this game, they are out injured. But I still think that Liverpool, whatever team they put out, they will have a good chance of beating Paris Saint-Germain because of how attacking they are. And I think defensively we look a lot more solid than last season. I mean, we conceded only 2 goals in the Premier League in 5 games, and those 2 goals, you know, one of them was a last minute goal against Tottenham, which was avoidable if we just cleared the corner, and the other one came because an Alisson mistake, and basically Alisson gifted the ball to the opposition. So Liverpool so far look very solid defensively, but I think this will be another huge test. The Tottenham game away from home was a big test, and Liverpool came through it with flying colours, and defensively we looked a lot more solid against Tottenham than we have done the majority of last season's games against the top 6. I mean, last season against the top 6 in 5 games Liverpool collected, I think, just 2 points, or no, was it 1 point? I'm not sure, 1 or 2 points maybe. And this season, in 1 game, we already have more points against the top 6 away from home than for the whole of last season. I really hope that defensively we hold up, because I think that we can score 2 or 3 goals in any given day. And what is really frightening about this Liverpool team is we haven't even hit top gear. I think we are in 3rd or maybe 4th gear, and definitely the Tottenham game was our best of the season. But when Mane, Salah and Firmino really click, we will blow away some teams. I don't think that it will happen against Paris Saint-Germain because they have a pretty decent defense. But I think the weakest point in this Paris Saint-Germain team is their defense. And what also is very interesting, that as much money as Paris Saint-Germain has, they still have to adhere to financial fair play regulations, and because of that huge Neymar and Mbappe transfers, they couldn't really strengthen their midfield and defense as much as they would have liked, and that's why they are, you know, playing sometimes young players at fullback areas and young players in midfield. So maybe Paris Saint-Germain are not as strong in midfield and in defense as they are in attack, because I think Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool have 2 of the best attacking trios in world football right now, maybe alongside the likes of Barcelona and Bayern Munich as well, but certainly Liverpool are now up there in the top 5 in terms of just their attack alone. So it will be a fascinating game to watch. And I think whichever team wins the midfield better and can supply the forwards with better balls closer to the box will win this game, because both attacks can finish chances off brilliantly. So I'm really looking forward to it. It could be a 4-2 Liverpool win or a 3-3 draw. Whatever will be, I'm really looking forward to the game. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. See you later. Goodbye.